This is a project update, guys. We got into this kitchen and we did a lot of work. We put a beam. It's LVL, but we put cedar overlay. This cabinet fell apart after we kept moving it. This is our temporary kitchen sink cabinet because the kitchen sink cabinet fell apart too. And all the tiles are really dirty, but when we clean them, they'll look nice. We had to do some pipes, did those windows. We changed all our lights. Inside this part of the ceiling is a tube for a range hood. So it goes all the way out to the roof, and that way it can vent air, dirty air, to the outside. We got our three-way switches, double toggle in the middle because we got 4 light patterns here. We got that room, oops, we got that room over there, and then we got the work lights, which are halo little LEDs, and then we're gonna have some nice pretty pendant lights that hang right above the island, and then we have this light over here, and we put power for a garbage disposal. We changed our venting for the sink. We did tile all the way in. Ta-da, ta-da. The floor had to be leveled. That was a lot of work, taking out the floor. This was a hard area, very hard area to install. I think we have a couple tiles that are a little bit lippy. We can't move these machines until this is 48 hours, 72 hours. And we did leveling compound under this because it was impossible to sister this tiny little space. And we did some plaster repair. We changed where these light fixtures are. Or sorry, switch. So that switch used to be over here, but I always told Taylor this room would be way better if she had like a fold down table that came down off the wall, because the little table she's got that fits right there is so little, and you don't want a bigger table right here because that's where everybody walks to get their laundry or come through. And yeah, so this will be the last area we tile. This I'm walking on, it's 24, it's like 36 hours old right now. And there's a little bit of a step on these transitions, so we'll have to be creative and take care of those things. And these doors are going to be really close, so like that one is hitting, so we're going to have to cut the door. Hopefully it's not hollow. If we cut the door and it's hollow, we need a new door. We're going to do new trim all around. The kids lit my trim on fire. All my base trim was oak. And I said, put this outside and then burn that pile over there, and they just put everything good in the pile. So there's a return. We also moved our thermostat. So this, we didn't like the old digital style. We like this. So we moved it all the way here because it used to be in the main area over there, and it always used to turn off before it was time. That's the garbage disposal switch. We got separate circuits for stuff. So everything on here, it's against the rules, but it's all one circuit. And then these ones over here, you know, you got separate circuit, and then one for the fridge, separate circuit. And dimmers for the work lights and the island lights. And this one just works for my office, so Taylor can turn off everything at once. And we did some little plaster. Oh yeah, we learned how to do plaster. We ended up with some stuff I didn't like very much. But you can see a little personality there in the ceiling. And then the walls I just did trowel down, which is just a smooth coat of texture finish. That kind of conceals your little mistakes. So right now in the project, I still have this crack that keeps reappearing, and there's one over that doorway right there. And so I have to put mesh tape on those and redo them. And we have a bunch of wet tile. So the center line of this project was this. So these tiles, we wanted that line to look perfect because you're going to notice that. And so everything was built off of it. So everything in here was spacered. So we built out these tiles yesterday all the way out, and we left ourselves a little road. And then we built in from our road because those dried so you could walk on them mostly. I mean, you just got to be careful not to move around too much. And we just filled that in. And so we're going to fill this in. And this is our kitchen, so that's what it looks like now. There's no sink, there's no stove. Propane is moved. So I did a nice job installing like a propane flange all nice and sturdy. And this thing's not attached, but we're gonna have a board. We're gonna have like a step that people can put their feet on when they sit down at the island probably. And that it'll be like a small hollow box, and that'll be mounted onto that box somehow. And that's the power for the stove. I'm not sure why I did a double box, but that's what I wanted to do. So, because that's a junction. So that's a junction that's going to go to the whole island. So that's island power stove. And then that outlet goes to, that powers the range hood. So there's a wire terminating up here that powers the range hood. And what else? Ooh, I'm scared now because I don't remember where that wire is. But anyway, so this is a little bit of a lip. So we have to, once again, we have to figure out how we're going to do that little drop transition. But at some point this floor all has to get leveled, and so that's kind of part of like the next phase, mentally speaking. But here are the kids. They're all doing amazing. Hey guys, say hi to the camera and your future selves.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. Yum yum. Thank you. Hi Steven. Say hi to your future self. This is going to be ammunition right here for when you're older. Oh, thank you. Nom, 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 nom. Hey, Simon. How's it going, buddy? Is this project messing up our house?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. And there's my desk, so it's in the wrong place, but we had to put it somewhere. We have always to contend with these huge utilities like the vacuum. So things are kind of just piled up, but this is my mostly usable desk space right now. And the last of the tiles, 4 boxes, we're cutting it really close. And we put some junk food in here. Show us the junk food, Mom. Oh wow, look at the junk food. Dry goods, everything you can eat with nothing but a microwave and a refrigerator. And this microwave is our oven, and the toaster oven is there. And Taylor has to struggle to give me coffee now with the microwave, but that's just for 3 days more, maybe even less. And the stove is too heavy. You can't put the stove in here because these tiles, if you put shear load on them, which is like that, then they can come off. You can walk on them because it's point load, but when you drag a thing, like, it could damage. And we don't want to damage at the beginning, because we paid out big bucks for these tiles, $2,500 for the tiles. And so for this project we had to buy a table saw, or not a table saw, it's a water saw, and it was like 400, or no, it was like 600, I forget now. Yeah, I think like $400, but the rental was going to be almost 400, and this one had the capacity for our cuts, and so I said, why don't we just get one, and then we'll have it for later. So this tile is really strong. It's Italian, and I'll show you. We only had a couple come in broken, but see, it doesn't break unless you stomp it. So it's pretty strong. We're doing good coverage. A lot of these we had great coverage when we had to pull up any of them. We had about 99% coverage, 95% coverage. We just had a really bad lip on this one, so we popped it up here at the beginning while we still could. And there's one over here we might do. I didn't really think the lipping was acceptable amounts. I think this one was a little low, but we might call it good, because when you put the grout, there's a lot of forgiveness when you put grout. So yeah, this one was really high right here. I was fighting the material, so I was mixing it according to the instructions on the bag, and it got super thick, and I was like racing it to try to install the things before the material set, and it was already sitting super hard, so you could hardly get it out of the bucket. And I think I must have just put this tile, and I got it decent to here, but it was too high over there. So we might pop it up just to lower it, but that's risky because it might be high because of a different reason. But that could be one of our ones that we pull up there. What else, guys? Okay. Yeah, it'd be nice to get our kitchen sink back. We have, yeah, the dishwasher, you know, goes right there. We got a water line for the the fridge. So the fridge never made water for us. So we got ourselves this. We like this thing. We like being able to get water out of the fridge if we want it. Comes out cold. And yeah, I don't know what else to show you. So here's our latest little area that we did. We had to make our last wall edge, so there was narrow cuts there, and then we give ourselves relief cuts. We didn't want to end up with broken tiles because these bridge pieces always seem to like get broken. We had like bridge pieces over here, a lot of them. So like that was a bridge piece. See how it's got the cutout? This is another one, cutout, see? So, well actually that was the end of the piece, I think. So we just separated them. So that one has a cut, grout line. That one's got a grout line, but we go off of the original pattern of the tile, so it still has that same size, 24 inch. That's like with these big tiles, you just can't do anything without these huge segments. So that one was an L shape, but that would have been broken if anybody stepped on it. So we added a grout line. I don't really blame it. I don't really blame it on anybody. I think it was the right thing to do. Now that one we actually did the L, and I think it'll work out. That one was such a small one, you almost couldn't even cut it without it breaking. It could have broken during the installation. That was so small. And poor Dozer is really confused. Hey buddy. Yeah, and then I had to buy a couple pack out things to help us during the process, but it's helped us a lot. And Dozer has been worried about my mental health, haven't you, Dozer? Especially when I was destroying the house. He said, "That dog is not doing well." He said that about me. He's looking very distressed. That's what Dozer thought. And we had to take out this door. We had to cut the bottom section off like an inch just for it to open and shut. And we're using this door to let the dog out for a while until the tile is done. Oh, I didn't show you outside. So we put a lot of stuff out here. You can see some of our furniture, the buffet, and our wood. And that was a collection of stuff, some cabinets. We had to put a lot of stuff in different places to do this job. And down in the basement we did some other work too. We installed the heater. This thing is amazing. It heats up the whole room and the kids don't have to suffer anymore. And we did a bunch of circuits to this box. We went through the whole box. I labeled all these things with my label maker. We changed a bunch of the circuits. We found a bunch of circuits. We ran a lot of wires through this channel. So a lot of these wires are new. Very lot of them. And they go up through the kitchen floor, which is right in here somewhere. And we even did some plumbing, of course. We changed out some copper into PEX. And here's the access in the bathroom where we ran, like for example, our ground for the propane lines that we worked on. And so this water goes up to the kitchen sink, and then there's a hot one that goes up to the kitchen sink here as well. Let's see. We did duct work. We did install duct. So let's see. Well, it's in here. It goes up into the. Yeah, you saw it upstairs, but what else? We had a circuit that used to go through this that I installed, and I took that out and I changed it to come from from the electric supply box. So that's no longer borrowing from this. This is the basement lights. We had to, oh yeah, let's see. Oh, here we go. So we had a couple things that weren't right in here. So for example, the propane was run with the correct material, but there was no sediment drop, and it was just hanging there. It wasn't grounded. And so I ran iron pipe, I ran a sediment drop. This one goes to the stove, and then we have a second one, and we installed shutoffs too. So there's a shutoff there. The other shutoff, well, we installed a main shutoff where it comes into the house, and then we also installed a shutoff right here. So this is it, and that one goes upstairs to our future new HVAC upstairs, and that's grounded too, and it's all protected and plastic and stuff like that, so it can't touch any metal. This is my new, it's not playroom supply anymore, it's now my office supply. We had some different problems with the HVAC. So one problem we had was that this pipe, which goes up to our bedroom, it didn't work because it had a vent where, if you can see, it went into the wall. And it used to be here. So the problem was that it would make warm air, but then it would get sucked in to the return, which is right in that other side of that wall. And so then my area on this side would be really cold. So I stole the air pipe that I put for playroom. I stole it and put it here instead because it wasn't doing anything for the playroom. And that's when we decided to use the heater, the electric heater. And let's see, inside this wall is where we have our condensate pipe, our electric, and our propane for our upstairs heater. And let's see, we also had we redid all the electrical in here. So there was a light outside, and my father-in-law, thanks Dad, came out, and we have, this is just the regular backlights, and then this light is at the end of the house. So we had these lamps that we put in. So we already had one. Well, we bought one and put this one in because we had one that we hated that used to be above the there, but we wanted to put a header because there was no header. So we installed a header there, and then we just took the lamp down and rewired it and put it over here. And then my father-in-law helped me put that lamp in and that lamp over there, so I'm very happy about those. And we separated out the circuit for this light on the end of the house, which I don't know if you can see it. There it is. So now it's on its own switch. And we put our security, hooray! And while we were at it, because we're old-fashioned, I'm gonna show you this. You're gonna love this. Get ready. Don't scream, Joe. It's not good for the video, alright? You're being very rude to people. Don't do that. So we got a lighted doorbell that works. It works good. And it was here. And that took some doing. We're gonna fix that little plaster hole. Yeah, so that's all the stuff we did. And I turned my shoes into a plaster shoe because they were just nice ones before. So the kids are learning about eating lots of junk food, aren't you guys? Pop-Tarts and crackers. How healthy is that for you? Does it taste healthy? Does it taste yummy? Hey Joe, are you feeling better from your cry?
No, he's not.
Why are you doing that?
No, Dad, don't take a video of it.
Take a bite of that Pop-Tart and tell me how good it is, Mr. Victor.
Mr. Victor.
2 thumbs up from the V-Man.
A million.
And Steven. Do you like cheesy crackers? Look at yourself in that glass. Oh yeah, there's a baby. There's a baby. Is this job making you cuckoo?
Just a little bit. But I was probably cuckoo